Alright, let's check out the plunder deck.
We're here at YCS Raleigh, North Carolina.
It's the captain.
1,800 players who around Swiss.
Is it me or is this audio like really doggy?
Here, top percent contestant, please introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, everybody. My name is Douglas Alexander Haddad, or Douglas the Captain Haddad. I managed to get top 16 with Plunder Patrol Runic today, and with that in mind,
That is the intro of all intros.
I have a deck ready to show off and everything to explain. So let's begin.
He has a t-shirt that says captain on it, by the way.
Again.
Wait, before we see the goo, any shout-outs?
Oh, well, I would save those here in the middle. Yeah, do that.
The middle?
Yeah, okay.
Everything about this deck profile is incredible, and we're 35 seconds in. Shoutouts not at the end, not at the start, the middle.
Anyway, well, shout out.
You know how like occasionally some people will be like, they'll try and be funny and they'll be like, haha, do you want a low roll? This guy's the type of guy to be like, let's mid roll, closest to 6.
I guess to go to these wonderful people. My best friend Rob,
Dragon.
my lovely mom, my gorgeous wife, and the homies, aka the
He has a mom
Another
token? That is so wholesome. A dog, a mom, a GF, and the boys.
Plunder crew. With that in mind, let's begin. Starting with non-engine, just to show it off, get it out of the way, I ran a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster
Why is he doing the non-engine first?
in the main, 2 of the Forbidden Droplets, 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, and my absolute favorite card to play, because nobody likes it, 3 Evenly Match.
Oh.
So the explanation with the...
Wait, he plays Runic? Huh? Okay. Actually just the maddest of lads.
These particular side was very simple. I hate hand traps as a burning passion. I prefer if I'm going to play cards like that and if I'm going to actually use something, because at the end of the day, with hand traps going first or even going second, you can brick just drawing into them, and it's the worst feeling. So with that in mind, I said, you know what? I'm going to save the hand traps for the side deck for this particular deck profile and make it so no matter what anyone puts up, I crack their board. And with that in mind, these are the particular 8 cards I chose. Oh, I did have to make one mention though. So one particular man that helped me out today for this list was Anthony DeSimone. Shout out to the homie. He helped me particularly just throw in the Harpies with the Evenly. And his reasoning, he actually does a lot of studying in terms of the format, in terms of going to different events. And he found Harpies being one of the best cards trying first or second for an engine that can just discard.
I feel like I need some more explanation and elaborations on this. So this friend of his does studies on the format and cards and found that Harpies was one of the best. But how did he reach that conclusion? Because he vaguely alludes to the concept of studies that take place. What does that mean?
With that in mind, now that we have the non-engine on there, we're then going into...
He doesn't get rid of the tokens, by the way. This is like in a deck profile, they usually move things to the side. He's keeping his mom right here, front and center.
We're going to go into the Plunder engine, starting off with the best field spell in the game with 1 copy of Plunder Patrol Shipyard.
It's not Runic Fountain. That's the best field spell in the game. It's freaking Shipyard. That's the best field spell in the game.
The reason why I say that is because this card can set itself from the graveyard as long as you have a Plunder card in the spell and trap zone. And you'll see more of that later. As well, this card can discard a card, any card, and add any Plunder Patrol card from the deck to the hand and boost your monsters. So it's kind of like watching Luffy during the fight against Kaido. He's got a big fist.
Spoilers! Like literally, I'm on episode 15.
With over 5,000 attack ready to swing in and crack the opponent's board open.
I'm glad I've already forgotten the name of the
only need one
opponent
for this
you just
particular
mentioned.
deck, just because of the fact of we have other field spells we want rather play with. And then from there, we have 1 copy of the best...
Wait a minute, it's just dawning on me. Is this why he likes Plunder so much? It's a One Piece kind of relationship? Is that it? Really? He's obsessed with Plunders because of One Piece? Oh, come on, dude.
Trap card, Plunder Patrol Booty. So to give you info on this, it's just a Call of the Haunted that changes an attribute. So if you have to play against a matchup that's not fun to play against, like Flounder East, Konami, where's my win chip? We always like to switch out the attribute to make it so our Plunder Patrol monsters have a lot.
Where's my win ship? Where's the win ship?
A lot more access to their tools and various arsenal. And being able to revive and constantly, shuffle back is also good for the long game. With that in mind, because again, we want to make sure we have our cards. Now we have the monster lineup, starting with 1 Redbeard, We don't want to play more than one. It's unfortunate. He is amazing at what he does, but his grave effect isn't as handy, let's say, as per Whitebeard. He's always about either summoning a monster out or being summoned off of white, or
I like
for
how he's
some reason
explaining the
being that
cards as
plunder
well.
card you need to discard.
Because who knows what
He's a
plunders
one-up.
do.
From there, we have 2 of Bluebeard, the Plunder Patrol Shipwright. So this guy in particular is very fun. He's a special summon, but in the majority of the time, you're actually going to use him to get more ammo, as I like to call. You'll be discarding him off of the effect of Hugin or other effects during the draw phase, helping avoid cards like Droll and Ash Blossom, and getting more advantage over time. He's also a special summon if you control a Plunder on the field, so more bodies in order to synchro or even link. From there, we have 2 copies
really
of
loves this
the
deck.
best bird in the world.
Only
Black
2?
Eyes, the Plunder Patrol Sea Guide. This particular card is great because it's a hand extender. So if any plunder's in the grave, you get to target it, any plunder monster, summon, add the target, and then you're able to give yourself a body and more follow-up. The reason why I love this card, you don't want to run him at 3 just because he can be a little cloggy, but at 2 he's perfect. The reason I particularly love this guy is because I constantly deal with people nibbing too early. I'm either going to force them to go for nib when there's just a simple Blackbeard, and then all of a sudden there's a token. It's like, oh no, bird! Get me my card back. Proceed to make another Blackbeard and continue playing like nothing happened.
Oh no, bird!
Then we have 3 copies of...
Do you think he says that whenever he activates Black Eyes? Like, oh no, birds arrive!
Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. She's our tuner, as well as Whitebeard, the Plunder Patrol helm. So
Only
these
2
6 in
Whitebeards?
particular
Oh,
are
3,
our
okay.
tuners. These are what are getting us into our Coral Dragon later on, and various other synchro monsters that we're going to be playing to give the opponent a disadvantage while we provide more and more board presence. The difference between gold and white.
Did he just refer to drawing a card as a disadvantage for the opponent? Because normally you would describe that concept as like a +1 advantage, not a disadvantage. That's something.
Gold is an extender in hand or grave. In graveyard, she can pitch a card, revive, and then lock in a plunder. Or if she's in the hand, she can send a Plunder Patrol card in the spell and trap zone. We'll get more into that later. To the graveyard to send it for free without even a lock. Whitebeard's a little different. He's just like Redbeard. I like to call these guys pilots. At the end of the day, they're summoning ships out, and they're providing more cards to be played and to be summoned. With that in mind, the secondary
guy definitely used to play
when he hits the
Cosmo.
grave, everybody knows. He summons a plunder out, and that's where a majority of the time you're going to get your Redbeard out. Alrighty. With that in mind, that seems to be the entire plunder engine. Now we're going to have to go on to the other side of the actual deck here. Not a lot of people like it, which I can understand, but I don't like playing against the same deck 8 times, so with that in mind, that's going to be our Runic engine.
Who likes Runics?
2 of our lovely fountain. I don't know what Konami was thinking putting...
You know, it's very funny that he said that Shipyard is the best field spell, but he's playing 2 Fountain and only 1 Shipyard. I don't know, like, think about it. The math ain't mathing.
Fragrance to 1 and saying, hey, no summon limit. Also, Link Kuribo's gone. And it's like, wow, this works. So with that in mind, we have our 2 lovely fountains, and then we're going to go off with the quick play spells. 1 of the Hammer, Smiting Storm. 1 Dispelling.
Why is he starting with these
These are
ones?
always, I like to call the flop outs. Whenever you have to side in for particular matchups, these are the first 2 they're going to be going. Always starting with Dispelling. Unless the format gets even more search heavy. And then from there, we also have 3 of the best card. 3 Runic Tip, of course.
Oh, okay, here we go.
3 Flashing Fire. 3 Runic Destruction, because we don't
It
like
really
that.
is like a big Runic deck.
3 Slumber, because for some
Holy.
reason being able to banish and draw more is okay. And 3 Freezing Curses. So these cards are great
It's a
in the
big
particular
Runic
number and their engine and their number. I was able, Anthony again helping out with that number ratio, telling me, hey, it's better to run more than just 12, 15, go for a little more. And so I followed his advice on that. It paid off.
Thank you, Anthony.
Alrighty, so now that we have the actual, Runic engine out, we're gonna now bring up our Cider Extra. What do you think, Bortle?
Extra is nice. What was the main deck count, by the way?
The main deck count was a flat 40 today.
Gotta love to see it.
And we'll mention it with DB Grinder, 40 versus 40. Gotta love to see it.
Oh,
With that
God,
in
you
mind,
did the... Oh, man,
let's start
let's
start with the side, because I like to save
Look at me there. I'm just breaking the 4th wall right now.
the big bosses for last. We have 1 copy of Rivalry of Warlords. Big fan of this card. I wish it would come back, but again, floodgates. The big thing I like about this
Big fan of this card, by the way. Oh, God.
though is that I'll just show it now. This particular card, Yord, will always give your opponent a token. because it's a fiend that you're handing them, the idea is that you give them that, draw phase, flip this. Now they better have the out, and which, by the way, you're going to side the out for the out to beat them at it. So the idea is that you just give them a plunder.
Huh? You side the out to beat the out to... Huh? You're going to have to rewind that for me, sir.
Block, hit them with it, and then they just wiggle and squirm. With that in mind,
okay.
we also
I mean, I get that, but like, what is he talking about?
have one copy of talents. Again,
Okay,
I'm not a fan
one.
of playing more than one. I hate drawing more than one, so I'd rather keep it to one. Also, it's a better going second card, so I'd rather just drop it in when needed. Then we have 2 cross-out designators. These came up a lot, in particular because of the fact that I was main
This
decking
guy does
Cosmic.
not like drawing
Game 2 and
multiples.
3, I'm always expecting it in order to get rid of my fountain or even my rivalry, which is annoying, and I think everybody can agree. So, dropping this in and keeping a Cosmic in there makes it a perfect anti-clutch card. And then from there, we have a bunch of other cards as well. We have 2 copies
This guy
of
definitely
Dark World
works in
Puppetry.
sales.
So this card only came up once in the tournament.
Is that a
This
fucking
particular card is very
puppetry?
fun. You just target 3 cards, banish them, and then discard a fiend. As you can tell, all Plunder Patrol monsters are fiends, so you get the ability of going draw phase and stopping.
Is that thing really that broken? It targets 3. Oh, graveyards. Okay, all right, never mind. Bro, I thought it was like the field. Okay. That's still pretty
King,
good.
which I didn't see a lot of. I saw a lot more of the pure variant, but it still came up. And then from there, we're going to go with the rest of the lineup. We're going to go with 2 Droll and Lockbird,
This guy has
2
not
Ghost
played a
Ogre,
3-of except like the Runics.
2 Nibiru, and 2 Ash.
Bro,
So the thought process
I
behind-
hate this is sometimes but not all the time turbo. All right, fair enough. I mean, listen, you know, lots of coverage. You will never break on multiples, so you know, 2 it is.
In the
That's fair.
side deck, Anthony DeSimone
I don't
just
hate that
talked
anywhere near as
about
much as I used
law
to.
of 2. So being able to seeing more than one of these
Playing
in
around
hand,
the semi-limited
not the best.
list, yeah.
But with the amount of cards that you had in
He's
main
preparing
deck,
for the Master
I'd either
Duel
be
style
sending in
ban list.
one, throwing these 2 in, and then like another card, expecting an opponent's card to come out, or I'd be dropping off a bunch of different hand traps, again removing those limiters and continuing to play. And then of course the final card, 1 Munin,
Oh,
the Runic Wings. He came up he only came up only once.
all right. Now, are we still in the age of Konami banning people for deck profiles and self-reports? I guess we'll find out depending on the next couple of sentences this man utters right now.
But it just happens that he's able to get protection for, your cards. With that in mind,
Okay, cool. We play Munin for the protection.
now that we've gone over the side
Yeah, I
deck,
can't think
let's
of any
go
other
over my
reason to play
favorite
Munin,
part,
to
the
be
extra
fair.
deck. So the extra deck, we're gonna start off with the other fun engine. So, or non-engine. We'll start with Coral Dragon, and of course, SP Little Knight. So this is a part of a combo that we have involving our tuners. Drawing any one of our particular tuners, either Gold or Whitebeard. Oh, let me pull her out. And any of our other Runic engine, which you'll see right here. Mostly Hugin,
3.
or even Jerry if you have to. Enables you to go into Coral Dragon, providing you to get more cards during your actual draw. And even if, for example, your opponent drops like a Droll or anything like that, it doesn't matter because you're able to get that draw and then make them wait for the next turn. Because at the end of the day, you're going to give them a token, Blackbeard will be on the go, and you keep on playing. Also, because of that token, it gives you protection from Lightning Storm, shenanigans like Imperm, and various other effects.
Yeah.
And of course, can't forget the rest of the engine, our Searchers for the actual field spell, and Jerry.
Is he
the
playing
best of the
Slapnuts?
boys. And of course, everybody's absolute favorite part of the deck, the rest of the extra deck, which would be 1 copy
Wait, he's
of
not
Plunder
playing the
Patrol
other
Ship
Runics?
Fjord, 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Bran,
Unlucky.
2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Liss, 2
Three
copies
Bran,
of
by
Plunder
the way.
Patrol Ship Moiric, and everybody's favorite monster, 2 copies
Is that how you say it? I thought it was Merc.
of Plunder Patrol, or
That is crazy. I haven't played this deck in a long time, and I haven't played the Runic version, but the fact that he's playing 3 Bran and 2 Blackbeard is kind of crazy to me. I thought, like, you would play, Oh, it's a Yord, actually. Yeah, true. It just looks the same. True. I'm
Blackbeard,
racist.
the
I'm
Plunder Patrol
racist.
captain. Sorry
I'm
about that, I'm
racist.
losing my mind.
My bad.
With that in mind, the ratios on these are very simple. Just give me one moment here.
+1.
So when it came to SP Little Knight, this card came up a lot, especially when having to deal with Appaloosa and cards of that nature. So being able to have this out already, or summoning it out, normal summoning Whitebeard or even blue, and being able to make her gives you that chain block that you absolutely need. So being able to go Chainlink 1 SP Little Knight and Chainlink 2 White or Bluebeard gives you that chain protection. And of course, when it comes to the numbers here,
that's actually pretty good.
I didn't expect to see a lot of Kashtira, so 1 Yord was more than enough because he's always able to place himself back and give us those tokens. And then with the rest of the extra deck, I found that it wasn't the best feeling.
It's funny,
in the
like
world
Yord
having
is like
only
a
2 of
custom
these.
card,
I
and it
might
just didn't
consider
really do
changing
as
that
much
up.
as you would think it would for the
But
deck.
when it comes to the actual ratios, everything felt perfect in terms of summoning my monsters and playing on through. If I have to make any notes about this version, I would definitely say for the side deck, definitely going to change, of course. But I would recommend this for an even more grave responsive format. So if we're going to see Tier Element again come back, or we're going to see some more shenanigans of the grave like Horus, more than a consideration. But for now, change it out.
Up a tree is pretty crazy.
I guess the only thing I have to do now is say my shout outs. Thank you to the Shipyard and everyone in my life that has made this game more than possible for me.
The Shipyard.
I got to thank you.
What is the Shipyard? Is this like the Plunder Discord or something? Is it a Facebook group? Does anyone here, like, please, I need to know, what is the Shipyard? Or is it like a generic, like, concept of, like, the Shipyard? What is the Shipyard? Is it the Plunder Cord? Is it a is that what the Discord server is called? Okay, that's amazing. You know, this right here, by the way, is, like, unironically, like, living proof of, like, the dedication to have to, like, a rogue deck. And the people who shit on the Discord archetypes and stuff like that, which exist for the entire like fan base, like this is right here is living proof. It's a tier 0 Snake Eye format, and this guy managed to get himself all the way up into top 16 with a pet deck, right? Like, to say that this game doesn't have like room for innovation or that there aren't like resources and stuff available is just nonsense. It's just honestly just nonsense.
You know, my gorgeous wife, Michelle, my brothers, Rafe and Gabe, Jimmy and Rich, my mom and dad, and the entire Plunder Patrol Shipyard, which will actually have a description in the video down below in the description. You know, there'll be a link down below.
He doesn't do the YouTube
With that
thing,
in
but
mind, I also like to say this
I get it.
to anybody joining the Shipyard. Please feel free to message me personally if you ever need a lesson or ever need any help with Plunder Patrol. I'm always there for you guys as you're always there for me. Thank you so much. It's been more than an honor.
What the fuck, dude?
And with that in mind, I hope
no metafy, no paid bullshit. Just like, I will help you play Plunder Patrol. Unfucking believable. What a deck profile. Why is there no link to the Discord? Bordel, you didn't put the thing in here. This is the nicest person in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. We do not deserve him.
Hope you guys have a lovely Plunder-tastic day.
Thanks again for the profile. Congrats on top 16, man.
Of course, Plunderstandable.
Plunderstandable. Oh my god. Oh no, dude. What the hell? That is incredible. That was just the best deck profile of all time. That was just the best deck profile. This is like the best person in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, unbelievable. Like, to say like, guys, join the Discord, I will help you play this deck is so fucking based. What an incredible person. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was my favorite deck profile.